Many men believe that masturbation helps them relieve stress and anxiety, offering a quick escape from the pressures of daily life. It's often treated as a form of relaxation, a personal indulgence that seemingly takes the edge off a long day. But what if this belief is entirely wrong? What if, instead of providing relief, frequent masturbation is secretly compounding the very stress and anxiety it claims to alleviate? The truth is that excessive masturbation, whether to pornography or one's own fantasies, creates an addiction, a cycle of dependency that only increases mental distress rather than reducing it. The momentary pleasure masks a deeper problem. The more one indulges in instant gratification, the more they unknowingly feed their addiction and the source of long-term dissatisfaction and frustration. At first, masturbation appears harmless, even beneficial. Society, modern science, and pop culture often portray it as a normal, healthy way to manage sexual urges and stress. The common claim is that ejaculation releases feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, temporarily making a person feel relaxed. But here's the catch. Any habit that brings pleasure without effort runs the risk of becoming an addiction. And addiction, no matter how minor it seems at first, is the opposite of true relaxation. Every time a man turns to masturbation as a stress reliever, he conditions his brain to associate sexual pleasure with emotional escape. This, over time, creates a dependency, not unlike that of alcohol or drugs. The problem isn't just the act of masturbation itself, but the unconscious training of the mind to see it as the go-to solution for all negative emotions. When a person watches pornography, the brain is overstimulated by an artificial flood of dopamine. This unnatural surge hijacks the brain's reward system, leading to desensitization. Over time, the pleasure that once seemed satisfying diminishes, and the person finds themselves needing more frequent sessions, more extreme content, or longer viewing times to achieve the same effect. The same applies to fantasy-based masturbation. Even if no pornographic material is involved, the brain still experiences an increase in dopamine that reinforces the habit. This is why masturbation, even without porn, can still be addictive and damaging. The more it is indulged in, the less satisfying it becomes, creating a cycle where cravings intensify and tolerance builds. Before we move on, if you enjoy these videos and find them helpful and meaningful, can you do me a favor and like this video and subscribe to my channel? By doing so, you're not only showing me your support, but you're also helping me reach more men who suffer from pornography addiction, different kinds of substance abuse, and other issues that are affecting them and destroying their lives. Your energy is a powerful source that has the ability to travel through the world in magical ways you may not often think of. And your energy contributes to positively changing the world for good by a simple action. This helps me, but also a lot of men who are struggling. Together as men, we must help each other overcome this trap they have set for us to be weak, and take back our strength to build better and safer communities, and gain our self-respect back and our honor. I am truly grateful to every single one of you, and I appreciate you a lot for doing this and being here. One more thing before we move on. If you are struggling, I suggest you save this video and come back to watch it at night before bed, and again in the morning when you wake up. You can skip this part each time. Doing this will help you absorb the practice more deeply, making it more effective and allowing you to fully integrate it into your life. Make a playlist of your favorite videos and start sinking in the information. You will not regret doing this, and I can guarantee your success. Now, let's talk about stress. Stress is not just about work deadlines or personal problems. It's also about how the brain processes pleasure and reward. The problem with instant gratification is that it postpones actual problem solving. Instead of facing stressors head-on, masturbation provides a temporary distraction, delaying real resolution. Over time, this avoidance behavior turns into a coping mechanism, trapping a person in a cycle of momentary pleasure followed by deeper dissatisfaction. What's worse, as tolerance to the dopamine hit builds, the actual stress-relieving effect of masturbation diminishes. Soon, a man finds himself masturbating not because he truly enjoys it, but because he feels compelled to do it, as though he has no other way to deal with life's difficulties. This is where addiction fully takes root. The irony is that what once seemed like a relief from stress becomes the very thing that creates more stress. The need for masturbation becomes constant, intrusive thoughts about it increase, and the simple act of resisting feels like an internal battle. At this point, one is no longer using masturbation to relax. They are feeding an addiction that now adds to their overall stress. They may begin to feel guilt, shame, or even resentment toward themselves, knowing they are stuck in a loop. The things that originally caused stress remain unaddressed, while a new layer of anxiety emerges from the inability to control the habit. This is why the idea that masturbation is a form of relaxation is a lie. It doesn't solve problems. It merely distracts from them while creating a new dependency. True relaxation is not about escaping stress, but about eliminating it at its root. Relaxation means being at peace both physically and mentally, without underlying tension or cravings gnawing at the subconscious. When a man is truly relaxed, he has no urge to seek out artificial pleasures because he is already content. The problem with using masturbation as a stress reliever is that it conditions the mind to always seek pleasure as a way to cope, which is the very definition of addiction. And addiction, no matter how common or socially accepted, is a major source of long-term stress. The solution to this problem is not just about quitting masturbation or pornography. It's about retraining the mind to see reality for what it is. Many who struggle with this addiction make the mistake of measuring their success by whether or not they can abstain for long periods. They live in a state of constant recovery, always fearing that they might relapse, believing that they are fighting against their own nature. But this is the wrong approach. True freedom does not come from resisting temptation, but from no longer desiring it. When the subconscious and conscious mind are both aligned in the understanding that masturbation is not a real solution, the need to engage in it vanishes effortlessly. How do you know when you have truly succeeded? It's not by counting the days you've gone without masturbating. If you live your life constantly waiting to see if you will fail, then you have already failed in a different way. You have accepted a life of struggle rather than a life of true liberation. Success is not about how long you can abstain. It's about reaching a place where the idea of indulging in this habit holds no power over you. When you no longer see masturbation as an option, when it no longer calls to you, when you no longer feel like you are depriving yourself of something pleasurable, but rather freeing yourself from a burden, that is when you have truly succeeded. The key is perspective. When you deeply understand the harm of instant gratification, when you see beyond the illusion of stress relief that masturbation provides, you will no longer need willpower to quit. It will become natural. Just as someone who has recovered from an illness does not wake up every day wondering if they will fall sick again, a man who has truly broken free does not live in fear of relapsing. Instead, he moves forward, focused on greater goals, on true relaxation, on real fulfillment. The final truth is this: if you think masturbation helps you relieve stress, you have been tricked. It does the opposite, creating an addiction that only worsens anxiety over time. But the good news is, once you see the reality of this trap, breaking free becomes easy. No struggle, no counting days, no trying, just clarity, and with clarity comes true peace. If you made it until here, leave a crown emoji in the comments. I'm doing a little experiment, and I want to see how many of you reach the end and are truly willing to finish what they start. And remember, live with honor or die a coward. Thank you so much for watching, brother. Take care and stay strong out there.